Hey guys, Dan Frio here, and I want to let you listen to this cool song by Reginald Kyzar, K-Y-Z-A-R. He gave us his permission to play this video. You got to check him out. He probably puts a YouTube post probably once a week at least with a song. Very cool, very unique system that he uses. Take a listen for a second, and then I'll be back in 1 minute to go over some of the recent blog that we just did.
Swatting speeders has got me lazy. Yeah, I'm sure there's bigger racks where them rich boys home. But me, I'm gonna hang around here now and kill me around here with just a little love. If it's brown here, it goes down here, filling this freezer up.
Pretty cool, don't you think? If you would, again, check him out. Reginald Kyzar, K-Y-Z-A-R. So let's get on to this week's blog. And how you find it is you can either Google it or go straight to us. It's Devoted Hunter. So if you go to Devoted Hunter, just Google search it. We're the #1 spot. Just made it there a couple weeks ago. That's awesome. And you go to Devoted Hunter, you're going to go over here to blogs. Here's all kind of things you can find. We have over 9,000 products online that you can shop from. But go to the blog. We try to put real informative information on here that might make you think and say, And also, we try to review products that we use and tell you our honest opinion. We're not paid. Nobody sends us products. Nobody gives us any money. We created this, me and my sons, put this together. We hunt, and we just had a tough time finding products. And we'd go to a place, and then you'd end up buying it, come home, check online, and you could get it half price. So we put this website together, just a couple hunters, and we would greatly appreciate your support. So if you like this video, you like our website, please click below and subscribe. If you would also give us some comments. Give us, some feedback on what you like about what we're doing, what we can add, what we can maybe get rid of. Some reviews that there might be a hot product out there that you like. If you're a supplier or a company and you want your products reviewed, we will do that, but honestly, we will give our honest opinion on what we think of the product. So hopefully we like that product, but we will give a fair review so everybody knows what they're getting. We're not going to be bought for our votes. So I just want to leave that out there. So again, if you like this video, please subscribe below. Check us out at DevotedHunter.com. But let's get on to what we just posted recently. This was surprising. And this hunting season, I was in a tree stand, and for some reason I turned around, hooked up my bow, I stepped back, and almost fell off my tree stand. And I was a good 20 feet in the air. Thank God there was a branch there I grabbed a hold of, and I didn't fall. But that gives you a little into what we're getting into here today. But right now, I want to go over this blog. The #1 cause of hunting deaths. Most of you probably know that are hunters out there. But if you're not an avid hunter, you might be very surprised. It is not mountain lions. If you're elk hunting, you might say, well, you might disagree with that. It's not bear attacks. It's not driving off a mountain that you've been. My son and I, Patrick, we were in Montana several years ago, and we're driving around a mountainside with a guide. That was probably the scariest moments of my life. I mean, you're way up there. It's, feet of snow plus, and he's flying around these trails. And you could just basically look over and see 1,000 miles or 1,000 feet down the cliff. So what I want to get into today is, honestly, the #1 fatality to hunters is falling out of trees. So recently I have a couple really nice spots that I started putting ground blinds in. I love them, especially when it starts getting cold here in the Midwest. You kind of tuck in there. I bring a sleeping bag, a black sleeping bag, get in there, zip up my black sleeping bag, you can't see me. My head pops out. A buck comes by or a deer comes by, you can easily maneuver in those things and really not be seen. But here's some stats that were kind of staggering that I found out. And I went to, this one is the Wisconsin database that I went to, and looked at, and it was 2013, so I'm sure it's probably even gotten worse since then. But 9.3% of hunters have actually fallen out of a tree. So if you haven't fallen out yet, there's a 10% chance you're going to. So, take that for what it's worth. Near 18%, and then total accidents of some sort or another was 28%. Here's what happens is when you're climbing up in the stand, that's what happens. Mine, I was actually in a stand. I wasn't harnessed up at the time. I think I remember now. I was hanging up my bow to set it in to start climbing down, and I used to have what was called a, it was like a seatbelt buckle that, it went about 30 feet. So you'd buckle yourself out and up, and you can actually climb all the way down the tree. So again, if you have some ideas on, what's working for you, harnesses, those, Fall Guy was what it was called, Fall Guy. If you used it in the past, or you used anything like that, you have some pointers here, please put it in the comments below. Love to share those comments. But here's basically, the different types of stands there are. And you could see the hang-on stand with no ladder. That's the biggest, or I guess the most risky compared to the data that was put together by the Wisconsin, I think it was their DNR. Ladder stands and climbing stands. So you can see the hang-on stands are twice that of the other stands. So what we did is I asked a lot of the friends of mine and things that I have used in the past. I actually used a tripod one time. Just felt weird. It felt like I was sitting in the middle of, I don't know. I felt like I was in a box, like a hockey game or something like that, just kind of spinning around. And I just didn't feel, I was comfortable, but I didn't feel like it was doing what I needed to do. I felt like I stood out like a sore thumb. So, here's some of the precautions to do when you have a tree stand up. Like in most cases, I leave mine up all year round, and there's a lot of them that have been there for years. So when you go out there, check it at the beginning of the season, check it throughout the season. You might have squirrels nibbling at your the ratchet straps that go around there, your pegs that go in the tree, if those might be a little bit rusted, or they could be cracked. There's many things here that you want to watch out for. One of the biggest things I could suggest in today's world, make sure you let somebody know where you are. You text them when you get there. You text them, hey, I'm here now. Just so they know. If you don't show up later that evening, they probably have a good chance of knowing where you were or where you are. So I also downloaded a video here from, this is also Tree Stand Safety. I think this was also from the Wisconsin DNR. I live in Illinois, but I found that site was very useful. But I want to go through some of the stands with you real quick, and our recommendations on which one of each category that we would choose, or that we might have used these. I probably, in most cases, I might have not personally used it, but know somebody who uses one of these stands. I use one of the ones down the ladder part of this. To kind of, it's really comfortable. I started crossbowing a couple years ago. They made that legal in Illinois, and it actually, you have a built-in, holder for your crossbow and everything. But again, this is probably the most, I won't say this brand, but this is the most dangerous type of stand based on the Wisconsin DNR. You can look at it. But our choice on the hang-on stand was the Guide Gear Extreme. This tells you a little bit about it. You can also click on this right here. It'll launch you right to our website. It'll give you the current prices of this tree stand, and it'll give you a lot of reviews and feedback. All of these our recommendations below will be able to do that. You'll be able to click on the name. It'll launch you right to our website. You don't have to buy or anything. Hope you do. That's how we support this and how we keep this thing going. But at least you learn a little bit about the products here. And we've done reviews on broadheads. We've done several other reviews. And again, if you have any comments or any reviews you would like for us to do, please comment down below, and we'd love to put that together for you and give us your honest feedback as well. Going on to the next part, we have the ladder stand. This is actually one that I use. It is awesome. The only thing I could recommend you do is there's a little pad around the brace here, as well as the seating. Take it off at the end of the year. I've had one up for several years. It's still up, and I still don't take out the pads. But every year I go back and the pads are missing because the squirrels and mice and everything get to them. Basically, I took out this pad, and I think I wrapped it with duct tape or something like that. But this other pad, I just take now just a seat with me and put it on there. But, learn from my mistake. Take off these pads at the end of the season. Take them home with you. But this is a phenomenal stand. I love it. A lot of room. Make sure you tighten it down real tight every year. Check it. It's safe. I mean, it's really safe. I love this thing. I've gotten in it with my son and with some buddies we're not Twiggy and Twiggy. We're up there. We're over 200 pounds a piece, and it's awesome. I can't say anything more about it. Here's another video going through some other tree safety tips by David, and he's got some great tips in here. So thank you, David, for that. Here's another one. This is a climbing stand. I tried using one of these one time, and I was exhausted by the time I got to the top, to be honest with you. So if you're young, you're fit, this would be the one we would highly recommend. I had a friend who did use this. He loves it because you could just carry it as a backpack, walk into even a public area, shimmy up the tree, hook it up, and it is really comfortable. He sat there one time we were out there. He sat there, I think, for about 8 hours, and he was a little jittery, but it was very comfortable. So this is the Lone Wolf is the one we would highly suggest for the climbing. And let's get to the tripod. Again, I felt weird in the one that I used several years ago, but it was right in the middle of like a field, so we didn't really place it very well. But if you've ever used these, I had a friend of mine who has this. He tucks it away really nice and blocks himself in to a point. There are things that you could buy to kind of cover you around here. The cool thing about this is they're comfortable. They're very safe. This is the safest one out there. And, you basically climb up there, hop in, it swivels around. Please make sure you oil this thing quite a bit. Because the last thing you want to happen is a deer's over here. You spin around to get a shot and you hear, and he's gone. So, but that's basically, again, that's our this week's blog tips. And it is in regards to the #1 deaths caused in hunting. And again, if you would, please subscribe below. Love to hear from you as well. And if you would also, please try to support our website. These products, there's over, last count, there was, I think, 9,200 products in here. So if you can't find it, let me know. I might be able to find it for you. But other than that, I greatly appreciate it. And also, back to Reginald. I want to thank him for this video. Very cool. I'll end it with that. But again, thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for your support, and God bless.
Never have taken money eyes out. I'll never kill a bull and crockett. I try to let a few doors walk, but that freezer runs low. I gotta stock it. These scrub bugs got no match, darn sure no drop times. But this chili has deer bird.